Today we're going to disassemble and clean the magazines for a Ruger Security 380 Lite Rack pistol. The Ruger Security 380 comes with two magazines, 15 round magazine and a 10 round magazine. So anytime you clean your gun, you don't want to overlook your magazines. Magazines are very important as far as the functioning of the gun, so you want to make sure they're in good shape. If you've dropped them in the dirt or gravel at the range, you definitely want to take these apart and make sure there's nothing inside that's going to impede its proper operation. In order to disassemble the magazine, we just want to take the base plate off. The base plate slides off toward the front of the magazine, so all you need is a pin punch, a small screwdriver, or even the flag that comes with the gun. So you're going to want to wear eye protection for this. There is a spring involved and you don't want anything to pop out and hit you in the eye. Hold the magazine like this. Put your thumb here. Just get ready to push the base plate toward the front. So just push whatever you're going to use down in here. When you feel some resistance, keep pushing and push the magazine. This one tends to want to come by itself. Keep your thumb over top as you pull this off, because then your spring's going to push out. And then just allow the spring to push it out. Just remove everything. You just got your spring. This is your follower, and all we need to do now is kind of wipe everything down. Wipe down the magazine tube. You can push a rag through it like that to get anything that might be inside. Wipe down the follower real good. Wipe down the spring. Wipe down the insert. Wipe down the base plate. If any of the parts are really dirty, you want to take a little CLP, such as original gun oil. This stuff's non-toxic and it's safe to use on plastics, and it really doesn't have a smell to it. I would just put a drop on a rag, wipe everything down with some CLP, wipe down your entire spring, wipe down the follower, and wipe down the magazine tube. If the inside of the magazine needs some cleaning, just get a brush, just put a drop of CLP on the brush. You just clean the inside of the magazine real quick. Once you do that, then take a dry cloth, kind of push that through to clean up the oil and the dirt, and then wipe everything down, get the oil and cleaner off of there. Now the Ruger manual does call for a little bit of CLP on the spring inside. I assume that's for corrosion resistance. So I would take a drop again on your rag. You really don't want much at all, just a tiny drop, and just kind of wipe down the spring, follow the spring down. Right? And it also recommends a little on the outside of the magazine, but you don't want your magazine to be slippery either, so you can wipe some of that off. That's really all there is to it. Just wipe it down, make sure it's clean and dry. Tiny bit of lube on the spring, and then let's put it back together. This is the front of the magazine here. The front of the follower has this little ledge right here on the front. So that's going to line up with the front like this. Push that up into place. And then this insert goes in this way along the back. It's going to go in like that. So start sliding that in. And then there's a little loop at the top to hook your spring into. So just kind of hook the end of the spring into that loop so it looks like that. And then just slide it in this way. Make sure the follower's seated. Just slide it in. Place your thumb over top. Make sure the spring gets past the lip there. Okay, make sure it goes down in like that. Keep your thumb over top. Then take your base plate. It's got notches in the back. Lines up with the notches, with the metal notches on the magazine tube. Press down. When you get here, it's going to hit that little divot there, so kind of press down a little more on that, and then this will slide up and it'll pop into place. Once it's into place, make sure, and it should pop into place. Make sure it stays on there. Make sure the follower presses down when you press on it. Something I always do after I take a magazine apart, I get some dummy rounds. These are A-Zoom dummy rounds I got from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. These are great. You can get these in any caliber. These are 380s, of course, and they're just fake ammunition. You can test a lot of things on your weapon with dummy rounds completely safely in your home, and this is one of the things you can check. So load up 5 rounds into your magazine. Make sure your firearm is completely empty. Put your magazine in there. Rack your slide home. We can see that there's a round chambered. So all we're going to do here is, we're not pulling the trigger or anything, we're just going to simulate firing the gun by racking the slide several times. So this is going to test that the magazine is feeding the ammunition properly and that the gun is extracting and ejecting rounds as it is fired. And after the 5th time, the magazine is going to be empty and the slide should lock back. And that will show that the magazine is working properly. So we just do this. Alright, they fed properly, the empty magazine does hold the slide back, so everything's working great with this magazine. Alright, so then repeat for any other magazines that you have. Another thing that the Ruger comes with, I wanted to mention, it does come with an extra base plate. So if you don't like this extra grip, if you want to make your gun just a little bit smaller, you can take this base plate off, keep your thumb over there, and put on the more flush fitting base plate. So now it just makes your gun grip a little bit smaller for easier concealment. So if you found this video helpful, please hit like below. Please subscribe. Please check out the description below for some of the links. And thanks for watching.